It was a bright and sunny day in a large boreal forest in northern Canada. The birds are singing, and the gentle breeze is rustling through the leaves of the trees. But not far in the distance is a grassland engulfed with smoke and flames heading in towards the forest. This danger will be a major threat towards the forest, but we must understand how we got here. Hundreds of years ago, this land was covered with large glaciers that were thousands of meters thick. Over time, with climate fluctuations and the introduction of burning greenhouse gases such as CO2 in the Industrial Revolution, these glaciers began to melt, in some places entirely. After these mountains of ice had gone, the land was left as a land of rocks with very little soil for growth of new life. That was until our friends, the birds, fly over this land and some of their droppings fertilize the soil. The droppings contain nitrogen and phosphorus, which are nutrients that make the ground more fertile. They may also be carrying some seeds that get dropped and create the first pioneer species to colonize this area. This would normally be organisms such as lichens and other small plants. Over the many decades that follow, this land turns into a beautiful boreal forest that is very diverse after many years of new species joining the forests and some old ones dying out. These forests contain aspen, birch, and spruce trees sprouting from the soil. Back to the current date, this forest has reached its carrying capacity and is fully matured, but soon it will stand no more. The fire wipes out most of the species living there, with the exception of smaller organisms that resist the flames. If you were wondering what will happen next under these terrible circumstances, think of the process of secondary succession. Secondary succession is the process of regrowth after a natural disaster, such as a fire or severe weather, such as tornadoes, floods, or hurricanes. The small trees begin to regrow, and the birds and deer begin to return after some time. After about a half century, the forest will have recovered and reached its former glory. Even though it may seem terrible and sad for some of you, these cycles of fire only occur every century or so. So the next time you venture outside and hear the birds chirping and the wind sailing through the leaves, do not take the beauty for granted, but know that cycles and succession are what makes the world a better place. To recap, today we talked about the process of secondary succession and how life returns to an area after a natural disaster. We also talked about the dangers of fire, but understanding that fires that destroy forests do not happen in the same areas very often. We also learned how birds impact our ecosystems so heavily. These events really help our world ecosystem to continue to grow stronger.